In a small, quaint town nestled between rolling hills and dense forests resided the Harrison family. They were the proud owners of an old Victorian house that had been passed down through generations. Nestled on a tree-lined street, the house exuded an air of grandeur and mystery. The exterior is painted in a rich and elegant hue, showcasing the delicate trims and decorative moldings that were characteristic of the Victorian style. The wraparound porch is supported by carved wooden columns and intricately designed railings. The main entrance is adorned with an inviting grand double door that opened into the spacious foyer. Once inside, a grand staircase swept upwards in a graceful curve. Throughout the house, high ceilings accentuated the feeling of grandeur in the many rooms, allowing light to flood the rooms and dance across the exquisite wallpapers that adorned the walls. Yet despite its undeniable beauty, an underlying sense of mystery and intrigue lingered within the walls of the Victorian home. Whispers of forgotten tales, echoes of distant footsteps, and the occasional flicker of candlelight sparked the imagination, hinting at the stories that had unfolded within its hallowed halls. The Harrisons had only been in their home for a few weeks and still had unpacked boxes scattered throughout the house. The Harrisons spent a great majority of their free time unpacking boxes and getting the house in order while their daughter, 6-year-old Lily Harrison, enjoyed playfully exploring her new home. One day, while her parents were preoccupied with working throughout the home, Lily's curious and imaginative nature guided her into the unfinished attic. Dust particles danced in the beams of sunlight that filtered through the narrow windows, casting a magical glow on forgotten treasures stored in the attic. Upon entering the attic, Lily's eyes widened with excitement, as she knew she would soon discover great toys and adventures. While rummaging through an old wooden chest, Lily came across an antique Jack-in-the-Box toy. The Jack-in-the-Box had a weathered exterior with its once vibrant colors faded by time. Each side of the box was adorned with intricate carvings covered by old faded pictures of what appeared to be children in various outfits and playful scenarios. Lily turned the crank on the side of the Jack-in-the-Box, and the sound of tinkling music traveled through the stillness of the attic. Suddenly the lid popped open and the small head jerked upwards, emerging from the box with a mechanical screech. Its movements were jerky and unnatural, as if defying the laws of motion. Startled by what she just saw, Lily dropped the Jack-in-the-Box, which was now revealing an unsettling, cracked face of a jester. Its large, droopy eyes appeared to be alive and were fixated on Lily. Lily was always cheerful and found joy in just about everything. However, Lily's 6-year-old mind had a difficult time understanding what she was now feeling as she gazed at the toy, but she knew it did not feel right. As the Jack-in-the-Box lay on the floor in front of Lily, it continued its eerie performance, its jester head swaying from side to side as if taunting Lily. Its painted smile twisted into a malevolent grin, revealing jagged teeth that seemed too sharp for a mere toy. Lily stood frozen in fear as she watched the jester's eyes lock onto hers, filled with a sinister gleam. Lily wanted to reach down and close the lid, but she was so afraid her body would not move. The tinkling music began playing from the box, and the jester's haunting laughter filled the attic, echoing through the empty space. Its high-pitched cackles reverberated in Lily's ears, growing louder and more deranged with each passing moment. Desperate to get far away from the Jack-in-the-Box, Lily stumbled backward while keeping her eyes locked on the jester. But no matter how far she retreated, its haunting laughter and piercing eyes pursued her, the boundaries of the attic expanding to accommodate its relentless pursuit. Lily wanted to cry out for her parents, but she could not open her lips to allow any sound to escape. As terror continued to take over her body, all Lily could think about was escaping from the grasps of the evil toy and being comforted by her parents. Lily did not know how she was able to do it, but she was able to muster enough courage to kick the Jack-in-the-Box. The toy sailed across the attic and collided with the wall. After doing so, the jester emitted a bone-chilling screech that pierced the silence before falling silent. Breathing heavily, Lily turned towards the door and fled the attic. She continued running through the house until she found her parents. Her mother saw her first and dropped the vase that was in her hand and scooped up her daughter in her arms. Lily was crying hysterically and her body was trembling. Her parents asked her what happened, but Lily was unable to execute words that made sense. Lily was comforted by both parents for hours until she was able to calm herself. Remembering the evil toy that still lay in the attic, Lily remained by her parents' side for the remainder of the day and throughout the night. She did not speak a word of what she witnessed. Days turned into weeks, and the memory of the Jack in the Box's haunting performance gradually faded from Lily's mind. Life resumed its normal rhythm, and the attic became a place she avoided. However, it wasn't long before Lily began to notice a change. Strange occurrences started to unfold throughout the house, subtle at first but growing in intensity. Her dolls would vanish and reappear in peculiar places, and she would hear whispers coming from her bedroom closet. The once warm and welcoming Victorian house that Lily once felt was a safe space now felt threatening. After being put to bed at night, Lily would see shadows in the shape of the jester dancing on the walls. She would also hear a muffled tinkling music coming from the attic. Lily could no longer remain silent about why she was always afraid and did not want to sleep in her bedroom. She told her parents about the Jack in the Box and how it came to life. Because Lily was a 6-year-old child, her parents dismissed her claims as an overactive imagination of a child. They told her that she was only afraid because of the house's large and antiquated appearance, which may be overwhelming and scary to a child. Lily tried to get her parents to understand what she experienced, and even tried to convince them to go to the attic and see for themselves. But she failed at every attempt to get them to believe her. Lily knew that the Jack in the Box was not a figment of her imagination, and that there was a connection with it and the unsettling occurrences she had been experiencing since that moment in the attic. Several days passed, and Lily continued to see and hear strange and unnatural occurrences that terrified her. Lily was determined to get her parents to believe her, but they continued to excuse her emotions as those of an over-imaginative child. One night, Lily was laying in her bed with her head and body under the covers when she began hearing the soft tinkling music and sinister laughing coming from the attic area. Lily jumped from her bed and scurried to her parents' bedroom. When she reached the locked door, she began banging on the door with her fist and screaming for her parents to open the door. Lily's father immediately opened the door and kneeled to comfort his daughter. He hugged Lily, and she lay against his body crying hysterically and attempting to tell him about the Jack in the Box that was haunting her. Lily's mother was now sitting in the bed and looking at her husband comforting their daughter. She stated that Lily just had a nightmare and told him to take Lily back to her room and stay with her until she went to sleep. Lily wrapped her arms around her father's neck, hugging him tightly and begging him not to take her back to the room. While embracing his daughter, he could feel her energy and knew that something was not right. It was at this moment that he believed his daughter and knew something was terrifying her. Without saying a word, he picked up his daughter and held her close, and he told his wife he would take care of everything. He closed their bedroom door and carried Lily to her room. When they arrived at her door, Lily began sobbing and pleading for her dad not to leave her in her bedroom. Her father carried her into her bedroom and closed the door behind them. He sat Lily on her bed and kneeled on the floor in front of her. He placed one hand on her cheek and said, "I believe you, and I won't leave you alone." Relieved, Lily embraced her dad with a tight hug and began sobbing. Finally, someone believed her, and she no longer felt alone. Lily's father tucked his daughter underneath her covers, and he slept in the chair across from her bed. He stayed up all night while Lily slept for the first time throughout the night. The following day, Lily's father was determined to find out what was haunting his daughter. He went to the attic and saw the antique jack-in-the-box lying on the floor. He picked up the toy and began turning the crank. The tinkling music began to play, and eventually, an eerily-looking jester popped out. He could understand how the appearance of the jester frightened his daughter. But while holding the jack-in-the-box in his hands, he began to feel extremely uncomfortable and even terrified. He dropped the toy and stared at it as it lay on the floor. The toy lay motionless and silent, but he still felt something wasn't right about it. Lily's father left the attic and still had an uneasy feeling, as if there was an evil presence in the house. It's as if touching the toy caused these feelings. Lily's father decided against telling his wife about what he was feeling because he knew of her skepticism. However, he knew he had to protect his family and decided to find out more about the jack-in-the-box. Over the course of several days, Lily's father immersed himself in research, scouring old books and archives, seeking any clue that would shed light on the jack-in-the-box's origin and its haunting presence. He eventually located an old article that told a story about a toy created by a disturbed toy maker in a bygone era. Research revealed that the toy maker had possessed a twisted fascination with the macabre, infusing his creations with dark magic and evil spirits. The jack-in-the-box was said to be his most infamous creation, a vessel for a vengeful entity seeking to torment those who dared to awaken it. Driven by determination, Lily's father delved deeper into the dark history of the toy maker and his creations, and he learned that opening the jack-in-the-box released the evil that was contained in the toy. Through further research, he discovered there was only one way they could be free from the curse of the jack-in-the-box. The first person that opened the box had to destroy the toy by fire. In other words, Lily was the only person who could destroy the toy. And now he had to figure out how to instruct his 6-year-old child, who was taught to stay away from fire, how to set the toy aflame. Lily's father went to the attic and cautiously placed the jack-in-the-box in a bag. He took the bag and placed it in the trunk of his car and told his wife he was taking Lily out to get ice cream in an attempt to keep her mind free from her childish thoughts. He knew this was a lie, but he did not want his wife to know his plan. Lily was outside playing in the backyard when her father called her and told her they were going for a ride. Lily loved car rides and excitedly followed her father to the car. They got inside and he drove them away from the house. While driving, he told his daughter he was taking her to a special place and he needed her to do something she was told never to do. Lily heard her father's words, but she was too caught up in the enjoyment of the car ride. About 20 minutes later, Lily's father pulled into a secluded area off the road. They exited the car and he retrieved the bag from the trunk. He grabbed Lily's hand and they walked on a trail until they reached an open area in the middle of the woods. Lily's father told his daughter not to be afraid, and he removed the jack-in-the-box from the bag and placed it on the ground. Upon seeing the evil toy, Lily jumped away from the box and hid behind her father. He stepped aside and kneeled, facing his daughter. He explained that she needed to burn the toy to destroy the curse, and he would not be able to assist her. Lily hesitated because she knew she was not allowed to handle fire, nor did she want to be near the toy. However, her father explained to her in very simple terms why she had to set the toy afire. Lily understood what she needed to do and was ready to destroy the evil toy. After receiving instructions on how to light the fire, Lily's father stepped back and monitored his daughter as she poured lighter fluid on the box. She carefully lit a long-stem match with a lighter and quickly threw the match onto the toy. Lily ran to her father as the box ignited in flames. As the toy burned, Lily and her father heard hissing and screeching sounds coming from the box. They stayed and watched as the jack-in-the-box continued to burn until there was nothing left but ashes. Lily's father extinguished the fire with water, and they buried the ashes deep within the earth. Lily and her father returned to the car and went to get ice cream. Lily never again experienced anything terrifying in their home, and the evil Jack in the box was no more.